Welcome to this introduction to ArcGIS Online and Story Maps. Most stories have a spatial context. An event happens at a location. A story unfolds during a migration. A pilgrimage forms the backdrop for a series of encounters or vignettes. Story maps offer a visual and very powerful way for you to tell your story. To make story maps, you need an ArcGIS Online account. There is much more to ArcGIS Online than just story maps, but we are concentrating on story maps today. We will be discussing ArcGIS Online accounts in this context only, for the most part. Everything presented in this video is covered in a more comprehensive Google document that has been shared with you. You might have that document open while you watch this video. If you miss something here, it is in that Google Doc, and the websites we will visit in this presentation are linked to in that document. At this point in time, Kenyon ArcGIS Online accounts are generated manually by Kenyon's ArcGIS Online administrator. That's me. If you are a professor who is developing a project that involves story maps, then you should contact me and I will generate accounts for you and your students as necessary. If you are an individual student, staff, or faculty member who just wants to start making story maps, then you should contact me directly. My email address is found at the bottom of page 1 of that Google Doc. Your Kenyon ArcGIS Online account username consists of your Kenyon username followed by _Kenyon. So, username _Kenyon. If you are a student, your password is initially set to be a lowercase x followed by your student ID number. If you are faculty or staff, your initial password will be set up at the time of your ArcGIS Online account's generation, and that will be shared with you via email. Once you have your account information, go to the Kenyon ArcGIS Online login page and log in. After you log in for the first time, you will need to change your password. ArcGIS Online will open up to your home page, or not, if you have been clicking around inside of your account. No matter what page you see, if you click on your name and username in the top right-hand corner of the page, you will get a drop-down menu, which is your profile menu. I prefer to call these your Esri interfaces. Esri is the parent company that makes ArcGIS Online and its desktop equivalent software. Esri makes many distinct GIS products that are used by millions of users around the world, and these Esri interfaces are how those people interact and make their GIS lives easier. In particular, the bottom 4 options in your profile menu are likely to be the most helpful in getting you up to speed making story maps. Training is also known as Esri Academy, and this is just what it sounds like. This is where you go to discover and access training for all Esri products, and you can organize your training into lesson plans and keep track of your progress. Esri even offers certification through the Academy. Communities and forums is where the global Esri community meets to share ideas and ask questions of one another. Support comes from users who have solved problems in the past, or from Esri professionals who jump in at times to work with users to solve particularly intractable issues and to improve the software. ArcGIS Blog is where Esri publishes blogs and articles and news and updates about their products. Help is where you can find tutorials for just about everything related to ArcGIS Online. How is this different than the Academy? Well, the Academy covers all Esri products, but this help site is specifically geared toward ArcGIS Online. One last comment about these 4 interfaces. Training, community and forums, ArcGIS Blog, and help all have search bars. And if you want to know anything about ArcGIS Online, or if you have an idea and you want to see if someone has any input on how to make that idea happen, then type it into those search bars and see what you get. Okay, let's go over to a test account to see some of this in action. I created this test account for Joe's student. Joe's name and account username are not up here in the top right corner because this window is not maximized. But I can still click up in this corner, and now we get to see Joe's profile menu. This is Joe's ArcGIS blog page, and I can type in story maps and press enter, and I can scroll down and you'll see all the entries relating to story maps. One thing you might notice is that there are an awful lot of entries entitled What's New in ArcGIS Story Maps, and these come out rather frequently. You should be aware of the fact that all Esri products are frequently updated. Functionalities do not necessarily change too much, and they rarely go away completely, but they may be tweaked and they may move about, which can be annoying. This is the Training or Esri Academy page. I usually go right to the catalog of training options, which is accessed by clicking on Catalog and then Course Catalog. You can search for courses by name. You can search or browse by topic. You can search by training format, videos, webinars, instructor-led courses, or you can search for different products like ArcGIS Online or any of the other Esri products. Don't worry about searching for free training. Your Kenyon ArcGIS Online account gives you access to the majority of the training options through an Ohio Higher Education Consortial Agreement. Run your search, and most of what comes up in the results will be open to you. However, before you can access the Esri training site, you must be granted permission to do so. You make that request to Kenyon's ArcGIS Online Administrator. Again, that's me. This slide runs through the steps you must take, but let's just jump back over to Joe's Students Test account to run through the procedure. Here's his profile menu. You want to click on My Esri. That will open up in a new tab or a new window. And it opens up in the overview or organization profile. What you want to do is click on Overview here and Request Permissions. That will open up a Request Permissions form. The best thing for you to do is select Request Permissions to an additional organization. That's not really technically what you're doing, but this will expedite your request. You need to enter in the customer number, which is located at the top of the window. And our organization name, Kenyon College. Then scroll down a little bit more, put a check in front of training, and scroll down a bit more and click on Send Request. Once your request has been granted, you will be notified via email, and then you can explore the training catalog on your own. Finally, let's turn our attention to story maps. Story maps are constructed using what is called the Story Map Builder, a graphical interface that facilitates adding imagery and text and links and multimedia content and, of course, maps. These are links to some of the most informative story map help pages and getting started pages. The first of these provides an overview and introduces you to the builder. The second takes you to a gallery that highlights some of the best in story maps. The third link opens up your story map page, which will be empty as you are just starting out. Story maps that you are developing will be saved here as you move forward. And the fourth link takes you to the results page for that story map search I conducted earlier in the ArcGIS blog page. Here is the gallery page. This is a great place to get ideas and to see what others have done with story maps before you. Of course, you can search for topics that are of interest to you. Now let's turn our attention to how story maps are actually constructed. This page contains links that are among the best Esri has to offer to get you started making story maps. The first 2 pages walk you through how to work within the builder. The next 2 links take you to a pair of story map construction tutorials, complete with test content for constructing 2 functional story maps. Finally, there are multiple ways to add an actual map to the story map you are developing, and these last 2 links walk you through some of those methods. The final link here is actually an animated story map that shows you a method called ExpressMap, which is a sort of map template inside of the story map builder. Let's jump back over to our story map account, or our test account rather. Here is that preview page or overview page. Here is that cheat sheet, the anatomy of a story map. So you have a story map running down the center of this page, and then in the margins you have the interfaces with the builder that you would be interacting with to actually produce the content of the story map in the center of this page. This is the first of those 2 tutorials I mentioned. This one is built around a research and photojournalism trip to a Guatemalan volcano. You can read about the story behind that visit here on this link. And this is the link for downloading the content for building that actual story map. And once you're ready to go, you have the data downloaded, you just start up the builder, and you're in action. So this is the builder. I'm making a draft of the story map around that visit to the volcano. Let's add an image to this. All right, I'm going to add this panorama view of a volcano. And there it is at the top of my story map page. Now I can click on here and change some settings, change the dimensions of this image if I want. Let's add some text. Now I want this to be a header, so I'll say a header. And this is, why do people choose to live on volcanoes? Good question. One of the ways we could answer that is with an image. People choose to live on volcanoes because of the rich volcanic soils that develop there, and you can grow amazing crops like coffee beans. Click and add a caption here if we want. We can keep adding more content. This is the second tutorial site. This one is a bit more elementary. It is geared toward high school students, but this one actually explores the story map thought processes. That is an important consideration because a story map cannot save a weak story. You must develop your story's content and associated media material, at least conceptually, before you get started with the story map builder. That thought brings us to my concluding comments. This set of links will take you to pages that will help you plan for a successful story map. Some of these were developed for an older version of story maps, which are now referred to as classic story maps. Classic story maps are going away in the near future, but they still have some value in that they were good stories when they were first published, and they are still good stories. And best practices still apply. Okay, I'm going to leave it to you to explore those links, which you will find on the shared Google Doc. Those and the training options will get you on your way to making great story maps. Thank you for your time.